Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us here at Transwest Truck Trailer RV of Frederick, Colorado. My name is Michaela. This morning I have a brand new 2025 Cimarron with Outlaw conversion, 4-horse, side load, full width rear tack. This one has a lot of options. It was very well built, lots of unique features that make this one somewhat and quite a bit different than what we see, even just as far as your Outlaw layout and your Cimarron shell and what that brings to the table on this one. It's very cool. I'm excited to bring it to you guys. But before we get to all of these options here in person, I just want to run through those drawings together and show you guys the overhead view of what we have on this trailer. We are 36'3" on the floor. We have a 9-foot nose because of our front end enclosure on this one, so about 45 tip to tail. On our rear tack, you guys will see we have a 3-foot short wall back there, so that is longer than standard. We're 7'10" tall inside with your standalone hay pod on top. That gets you your full 7'10" inside clearance for our warm blood customers there. Triple axle air ride, so you're getting a bigger width inside of that stall area as well. And then your 15'6" Outlaw conversion. Inside of your Outlaw conversion, you're gonna have a rear entrance or rear door that is favored just a bit back. So you have your front kitchen on this one, central entrance with that privacy door up into your queen mattress in the nose, hydraulic slide out with your sofa sleeper, a nice little table behind it, really cool TV with countertop below it, and then a huge bathroom on this one. This one is so cool. It's got your big corner shower and a huge closet. So again, we've got a lot going on, but hang with me, guys. It's worth watching and it's worth seeing it. If you guys have any questions, you want to run through those drawings, I'm glad to help you guys out. My cell phone's 303-918-6367. But right here at the door, starting out, one of my favorite doors. We don't see these very often anymore, but you've got your Challenger door on this one, which has the lower expanded aluminum behind the screen door, especially for those of you with smaller dogs or smaller children. It really just beefs up your screen door right here. And then you've got your regular screen at the top, as well as your LQ door on your gas shock right here. Big heavy duty door, helps itself open. We do have quite a few gas shocks on this trailer, but you guys will see those as we get going later on. Exterior outlets right here, so charging capabilities outside. And then we do have an electric awning up here. So inside your LQ, push of a button, this guy's gonna pop out and get you that shade cover outside here, as well as LED strip lighting under your awning and then porch lights outside. You guys will also have exterior speakers, and that inside radio will play outside on those speakers for you guys. But we'll go ahead and step inside and check this one out. This one is beautiful. I cannot tell you guys enough. I hope it shows up well on our cameras here, but it is a beautiful interior color we have on this one. I know a lot, the trending colors right now have been darker browns, grays. This one is beautiful with a very light stain, light wood, beautiful barn wood in this one, and then some lighter leather colors as well. So if you guys can't see it in camera, I'm always welcome to get you more pictures to try and show you guys. Also come by the lot and check us out. But starting right here, we're gonna have our fridge freezer combination right here. It is your Dometic that does electric and propane. So you got two options there, lots of good storage space in here. And then actually down below on this one, we got some cool storage down here. We got a huge drawer, it's really deep. It's gonna store way down in here. So typically what you see kind of here would be your furnace is typically located below your fridge. We've moved our furnace into our bathroom because we had so much other storage in our bathroom. We were able to push it back there and get you guys more storage up in this kitchen. So I thought that was pretty cool and a different feature than you guys are used to seeing. Stepping over into our kitchen, you're just gonna ignore this part for now because this just came from Outlaw. They are color matching this cooktop cover. So they're gonna send us a new one, but this piece will match this countertop. So just picture that all one color there. But nice that it's recessed because you can carry that countertop over it. You guys have a huge space right here. And then that beautiful backsplash behind it really helps brighten it up as well. 2-burner cooktop down in here. Works off of your propane. And it is pretty big in here. I know the recess typically does limit pot and pan size, but I've heard from a lot of customers lately that they like to have this for resale value or plan B backup options. But also they really like having the counter space to plug in the small appliances. I know small appliances are big time right now as far as just blenders, panini presses, air fryers. Air fryers is a big one, that kind of stuff, to have that space to put right here, and as well as just having like a propane grill outside. Those are more popular than the cooktops right now, but you do still have it, and if you don't ever use it, you've got plenty of countertop space right here. Up above, a microwave convection oven. So dual purpose here. You can reheat your leftovers as well as use the oven feature on this guy. Storage up above. I like to point out all of our storage, no matter where it is and how big it is. This is really deep. It goes way back in there. Because we don't open these in our pictures online, you guys will see where the storage is, but you won't see kind of what it looks like, or if it's just maybe like a fake cabinet door. All of these are going to open and get you, I mean, even the smallest compartment, you're going to have storage everywhere. Inside of these Outlaw Conversions, they do a phenomenal job of just putting space wherever they can find it. So huge space right there for your kitchen storage. And then down below your kitchen sink, you've got your cover right here, and then a really big, this is nice and wide and very deep, a nice stone type sink right there as well, with your faucet that is adjustable. You guys can kind of point that out. It really helps washing things off when you can maneuver that where you need to put it. And then we do have our kitchen window behind there as well. You're gonna have your day and your night blinds. Right now we are in the night blind setting and staring into the sun, so you're still gonna get a little bit of light when you're using that, but at night that's really gonna block out all of your street lamps and whoever you park next to if they still have their lights on. And then you have your day blind right here. You're gonna block out a lot of the harsh light, but still allow some in there to really brighten up this space when you're inside. And then obviously if you needed to open that window, if you're cooking in here, you're just gonna spin that right there and get some ventilation moving through that window. Very easy to use those crank windows, those frameless ones. And then down below, got some additional storage, and I really liked when I opened it up and saw this piece right here, because they are utilizing some additional overhead storage space. I know your sink's right there, but perfect spot to store scrub brushes and sponges, straw cleaners, that sort of thing right there. I know my parents have one in their house right below their sink. It's like a little flip out drawer. That's where they always store their things. I thought it was pretty cool. Now you're gonna get it kind of in your horse trailer too. Over here, you've got your slide out trash can. It's nice if you are kind of cooking off of the space and you need to throw some scraps away for cutting up veggies and stuff. You can easily just sweep it right into there and then close your trash can. And our kitchen drawers over here. I always like to point these out. These are kind of a standard set here that they get bigger as they go. And then your Outlaw warranty handbook. This is always nice to have. You're going to get this in all of your new ones. A lot of our customers will keep it in their trailers as they trade into, so you'll see it on some used ones here and there too. But this is going to have all the information for your trailer here. They've got great guides in here for winterizing and de-winterizing, all with pictures, diagrams. And if you guys ever have any questions, they do have a 24/7 customer tech support line. And I actually had some customers walking through the lot 2 days ago that commented on just how nice that feature was, that they were able to call that 24/7 number. I think they mentioned at 10 o'clock at night. It rang twice, and then someone answered and was there to help them troubleshoot their issues in their Outlaw trailer. So they were pleased, and I love hearing that positive feedback as well. Over here, I want to point out we do have an outlet right here, stepping up into there. So if you guys were setting small appliances right there, you've got your outlet right there. And then down below are breakers. So you have your breaker box right here if you guys are ever having trouble with an outlet or a light or something like that. I know when you guys take these home and you are calling Outlaw tech support, it's nice to be able to reference these videos too and show you guys where your systems are in these trailers. And then over here, just got some additional storage space. So instead of having like a flip up on your stair, a lot of stairs will have like a flip up lid on them to store stuff in. This one is tall enough up there, you're able to get a full-size door down there. And an additional space over here with the adjustable shelving. You guys are going to see a huge double rod hanging closet in your bathroom for all your hanging space. This is going to give you that shelving space, and remember these are fully adjustable with that track system in there. You can change those and space them out however you need to. And then I had mentioned center entrance with your privacy nose on this guy. So kind of different than what we're used to seeing. It's not favored to one side and it's not your dual entrance. It's going to be your center entrance and your privacy nose right there. Obviously does lock into place. And then you're going to have your TV over here on your right-hand side. And then you're going to have your windows on each side. Kick out windows for safety, and then up in the nose, this is one of the systems or the configurations that I really like, is you do still have your cabinetry storage in the middle. If you open those doors, you just do still have your wardrobe closet right there, so you're not losing any storage space that way. But on each side, you're going to have those open shelving. Great to mimic like a nightstand if you guys are going to throw your reading material up in there, your books, your iPads, your Kindles, your cell phones, your Apple Watches, all for charging purposes as well. You've got your outlets on each side, so perfect spot to throw those in. And then on your right hand side, you are still going to have a secondary gen switch, so you can turn that generator on and off from the convenience of your nose up there. And then back here on your left, as we work out, there is another closet right there, just for more storage. Outlaw really does a great job with that. Wherever they can get it, they know you guys are going to be hauling these down the road. They try and sneak in storage wherever they can. Now over here in our slide out, this one's pretty cool because what we've done in this one is we've done a floor level sofa. So you guys are going to see down here, it looks, and this is probably why I like it so much, it looks as if your sofa is just sitting on your floor, correct? Typically you would see your sofa would be set up in your slide out, so it's built up on the slide out frame, and I feel like sometimes that can kind of disassemble your interior somewhat. It makes it feel separate, and I really like that this carries it into this space, and it's easier to access. You guys can just step over here and sit on it without having to step up into any space. You are still going to have your sofa sleeper right here, so this is still going to make your mattress. Lay on it and not lose my microphones, but I'm 6 feet tall. These are plenty long enough to go side by side, especially for an overnight if you guys are camping or rodeoing or horse showing. You can always go diagonal as well, but plenty long enough to do 2 adults, at least 2 kids, maybe 3 depending on size. But nice to have a secondary sleeping area inside of this LQ, especially with how much storage you're getting and what a unique layout you're gonna get. Having 2 sleeping areas and all this storage is really great. We've got some cabinetry back here. So what you're getting is access into your water tank. So that's gonna be your 60-gallon fresh water tank back there. With this being a hydraulic slide out, we're able to do that and have that extra weight capacity back there. So these doors are getting you access into it. But also what you're getting on top is this countertop space right behind your sofa. And a lot of people have commented on how they like that setup because it eliminates the need for like your carpeted table or your table and your carpeted movable base. I know that can kind of be a pain to set up and take down if you're going to need that for working remotely and long term. Get it up, leave it up for the weekend. But if you're just in a pinch, spending a quick night, it's nice to have your table back here. You guys are eating and drinking, you can always store your stuff back here, continue to watch your TV, and be able to have your drinks right there. We've got windows all the way around, same day and night blinds. Go ahead and pick this one up here. But same windows in there. You guys can just crank those guys out to get your airflow and your ventilation across here. And then up above, additional storage. These both lead to that same space in there. So if you wanted to store some longer items, those would fit in there. Store some extra pillows, some extra sheets and blankets for your secondary sleeping space. It's a great spot to stick those as well. And then over here, I mentioned in our drawing, we had a really cool location for the TV with countertop down below. Same matching countertop as behind your sofa there. Down below, you've got your AM, FM radio. You're gonna have your auxiliary, your headphones, your HDMI, your USB, and also does Bluetooth. And then you've got zones 1, 2, and 3. So zone 1 is gonna be up in your nose. Zone 2 is gonna be your living space, and zone 3 is those exterior speakers that I talked about. You guys can control all those independently. So if you want just your volume outside or just your volume inside or just here or just there, you guys have the options and the versatility to use that however you need to. And down here, a huge extra cabinetry space. Another great option for storing extra blankets and pillows for your secondary sleeping space. Up above, we have our TV located right here. It is on a swivel arm, so you guys can kind of favor that towards your TV to get a better angle right there. We've got some outlets over here So great charging station if you guys want to throw your laptops, your computers on here and get those charged up. Perfect spot for that. And then up above, additional storage, as well as access to our electronics up there. Now working into the bathroom, you've got your pocket door, your private door getting into the bathroom, but I'm really excited to show you this because this one is huge back here. Huge, and you still get your pass through into your stall area. So we'll come over here, we'll check out our bathroom vanity and work our way around. You have your huge mirror right here with your medicine cabinet behind. So you're still gonna have all of your shelves right here that you guys see in a lot of our LQs for your smaller items, toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant, body spray, all fits really well in there. Right next door, we have another one of those huge linen closets that we saw up by the entrance to the nose. Fully adjustable shelves, great spot down in there. If you wanted to kind of use that as a laundry hamper, you guys can throw a little mesh bag in there and throw all your dirty laundry in there, or your dirty towels, and then you can space these shelves out however you need to if you want to store extra bath towels, toilet paper, paper towels, whatever it may be. That's a huge cabinet right there. And then I mentioned our furnace on this guy. I told you it was back in the bathroom. So you've got your furnace located down there. So you're still gonna have a little bit of storage space under there, but note that's where your furnace is located. And you guys see, we've already looked at our medicine cabinet as well as our linen closet. So you're not lacking storage. That was a great spot to put that to kind of free up your living quarter space out front. Same style as your kitchen sink right here, matches. It's huge, very large and very deep. It's a very generous sized bathroom sink, carrying our same countertop as well as our tile right here. Around you have your toilet right here, and then you have their pass through into your stall area right here. So if you guys are looking for that mudroom entrance, this one was set up for that because you have your stud wall up front, and then you also have your escape door, which we can check out once we get out there as well. But your escape door doesn't have a manger on it, so super easy to come in that door, lock it behind you, step in here, and be right into your bathroom space. Now over here, you've got your shower in the corner. I love having it located in the corner here because the size that you get, your floor pan stays the same, but you're stretching all into this corner space right here and getting a seat. And I have a customer right now in the build process that did build a new trailer just specifically to get this shower on it because they liked the seat aspect. Last time I kind of got close in here, I ended up spraying myself with this shower, so I'm not going to get too close this time, but you guys can see as far as, I'm 6 feet tall. Our trailer is 7'10", so we're 7'10" to our Outlaw ceiling, and then with our skylight above, I could barely reach the top right there. So tons of head clearance right here to be using your movable shower head and wash completely off. I feel very comfortable in this one as far as size. This is definitely the most generous size shower that we have on our LQs on the lot. Now I mentioned that double rod wardrobe closet, how big it was in this one. This is gonna be located right here where your shower typically is. We kind of flip-flopped those guys, but check this out. This one's huge. So you have 2 hanging rods. I could definitely step up inside of here. This is very tall. Double rod, hang all your clothes right here, your horse show clothes, your rodeo clothes. You could hang your entire closet right here and not have to worry about any space out there and just save all that storage back there for other items. I mentioned your movable table. So you have your carpeted base, carpet on the bottom, table screws in right there. And then your table does buckle into storage space right here, which is nice, kind of keeps it tucked out of the way. You can still use your full closet right here. But if you guys are at that sofa sleeper, you want to eat dinner off of there and not have to deal with that countertop behind you. You want to work remotely, not have your laptop sitting on your lap. It's really nice to be able to move that table around. You can slide it all over your floor and not worry about scratching because of your carpeted base. Also, I know you have a ton of countertop space in your kitchen, but if you needed more, that's definitely, you could slide that over to your kitchen and use that as extra cooking space as well, or just preparation space. And then we're going to step back out here, and I want to take you through a couple things before we exit. We'll just start right over here, kind of at our control panel. So we've got our propane valve right here. I like to point these out in all of our videos to show you guys how these systems work, because these are different and these are very nice. They have a safety feature in them. So okay just means good, all systems good. You can check it by holding down that check mark. It's going to run through and just double check everything's good to go. But right now you do not have propane in this trailer. So if you want propane for your fridge, your cooktop, your furnace, you need to hold down this button. That's going to open your valve. So when valve is green, you now have access to get propane flowing through this trailer. Cut it right back off, hold that guy down. Hydraulic room extension on and off, you just got to twist that key. Extend and retract, that's your slide out, it's hydraulic. So a lot beefier system right here. Awning onboard generator right here. On and off is just controlling our fuel gauge. You guys can see we've got about half a tank in there. 15 hours right now. I know Outlaw runs these when they install them. Speaking of Outlaw installing them, whatever Outlaw installs, they cover for 3 years, being a full Outlaw conversion. So they do install this. Start and stop right here. Your electric awning, I mentioned, push a button, that guy's right here. And then your thermostat will take you through fan, AC, and furnace right there. All of your tank levels right here. You guys can check your battery level as well. Push your button and kind of see what we're looking at right there. Your water pump and then your water heater right there. And really quick before we exit, I want to take you back in here and show you one thing. I know Outlaw really wanted us to start showing these in our videos. Is going to be your max air fan. They get a lot of calls on this and how to use this. It's pretty easy. If you guys want to just open and close your vent, you guys can just open and close it without turning the fan itself on. If you want to turn the fan itself on, if you just push on, the lid actually opens and turns your fan on all together. So it makes it super simple where you only have to push one button. That's going to do it all for you. And then your fan starts going. And that's your vent up above right here in the bathroom. So right now we've got some air circulating through here. And that's just going to help if you guys taking a hot shower in here. That gets your airflow moving through there. They're very, very nice to have, these max air fans. You guys can also control the speed with your plus and minus. So if you want it to go faster, crank it up. Want it to go slower, just crank it back down. And then when you're done, if you just turn it off, it's going to close itself and turn the fan off itself. Those are nice. Again, just keep air moving through here. Pretty easy to use, but again, if you guys have any questions, you guys can call Outlaw or just reference this video on how to work those buttons right there. Now over here, we've got all of our light switches as we exit. They're all labeled. Outlaw really does a great job of labeling everything so you know what lights are turning on and off. Down below, safety item, we have our fire extinguisher and then our master disconnect. So that same customer I was walking through trailers with a couple days ago, she saw me flip this guy on in the first trailer walks through. All of our 2025s right now are starting to have these inside. But she was blown away. She thought that was really nice. A nice change from being up under the nose. I know a lot of times on our previous trailers, you were having to lift up your front end enclosure, open your battery box, get in there, flip that switch, close your battery box, roll your front door back down. Now it's just right here. So you guys can open your LQ door, flip it on, get in there, and go to work in your LQ. But you guys are running into town for dinner. You don't want to close everything up, but you don't want to kill your batteries either. You don't have your gen going. You're not plugged into shore power. Just flip that guy off, and that will prevent you guys from draining your batteries. But I'd like to point that out that that's inside now. So again, that was 15.6 of a short wall, full Outlaw conversion. Full Outlaw conversion meaning you're getting 3 full warranties on that Outlaw, anything that they install. So your microwave convection oven, your awning generator, they install it, they're covering it for 3 years. And of course you have that tech support line at any time as well. But we're gonna work our way back to some of our Cimarron shell right here and what we're doing on this Cimarron side. So on our hip side, we have full drops on every stall. You guys can drop these open, especially today. Yesterday at my house out east, we were 98. I think today we're gonna push into the triple digits. So you're hauling down the road today, you're gonna need that airflow. These full drops are really gonna get that air moving out your trailer for you. Very nice to have these, especially if you're traveling. Maybe you live up in Montana, doesn't get as hot or something, but you know you travel the country a lot. No matter where you're going, you're gonna have that option to just fully open up your trailer. Maybe it's not this hot out, you don't need that much airflow. You guys also have a bus window built in. Left this one up so you guys could see about how much space you get for air movement out of that sliding bus window. So nice to have those options right there. But again, you've got full drops on all of these guys. We also have a 16-inch awning LED light up above our tie rings right here. So you're gonna have lots and lots of lights and lots of visibility on this guy. We really loaded it out. Lots of marker lights down that top rail as well. Down below, amber turn signal. So being as long as we are and being as wide as we are, we went ahead and did a turn signal. Just indicate and let you guys know when we're changing lanes or when we're stepping on our brakes. And then down below, triple axle air ride on this trailer. So when we do our triples and we do our air ride, one of the things here at Transwest that we do, and we get a lot of calls on this, there's nowhere else that does this. And if you want this done on your trailer and you're not gonna build it here with us, or you already own your trailer and you're not ready to move up into a new one, you have to ship your trailer here to get it done. But if you go through the build process or you pick out a triple on our lot, it's already got this. And what that is it's an air dump on our first axle. So a lot of people really are gun shy with triple axles for just the sheer fact that when you make sharp turns, you're getting a lot of tweak on your axles. I did own a triple myself that was rubber torsion, was not air ride. And I know I started to really get uneven tread wear on my tires. I never actually blew one, but I was getting dang close. I was down to the wire on an inside rail of one of these tires. I took it in, brought it here to Transwest, stuck it through the alignment bay with one of our techs, and he said it was way out of whack, and that's just simply from turning too sharp on these triples. We've got a lot of customers that bring in their trailers and they say we can't stop blowing tires. They've turned too sharp with the triple. So what we have with this air dump right here is you're gonna sit in your truck, you're gonna have a key fob, and you're gonna push a button. This is on. What that's gonna do is it's gonna take the air out of this axle. It does not come up off the ground, but you guys can actually see the air drain out of this axle, and it does kind of close this gap a little bit, throws all your air back here on these two axles, and now when you go to turn, especially right now on this hot pavement, you're only turning on tandem axles. So game changer right there. You're only using it at slow speeds, you're only using it for tight turns. As soon as you're done and you're on the straightaway, sit in your truck, just push the off button. It's gonna dump air back into that axle, and then you're ready to go. The big reason why we do these triples on, just for an exterior reference, we'll check out the interior reference in just a minute. But out here, what it's doing for you guys, it's really distributing your weight. It's gonna make for a lot smoother ride, whether it is air ride or rubber torsion. Just having a triple really helps it pull a lot better. Really takes a lot of tongue weight off of your tow vehicle and really helps distribute the bumps for your horses. With this one being air ride, it is gonna pull way smoother. I've had so many customers tell me once they have air ride, they don't go back. When they get to where they're going, their horses are not drawn up, they're not all stocky in their legs from riding down in a rigid trailer down the road for 12 hours to get to the next event. They step off, they're eating, they're drinking, they're comfortable, they're ready to lay down and take a nap and then get to the show or the rodeo for you guys. Now over here, our side load entrance, I wanted to point out that typically what we see on our short walls of our rear tack is 2 foot to 2'6". This one I mentioned is 3 foot. So you have a 3 foot short wall right here. You've got more trailer behind your axles. You ended up getting a wider ramp because of it, because we always run our ramps flush to the end. We don't short you there. So you have a wider ramp right here getting in your trailer with that short wall. You also have bogey wheels under it. So just preventative right there with having this much tail behind you. And then stepping up in here, did something pretty unique with the flooring on this one too. You guys are gonna see as you step in, try and get down here and show you guys as well. But you'll notice we've got worm flooring under there and then rubber mats on top. A lot of people are looking for the worm floor to protect their aluminum floor underneath. This here takes it a step further, because now you also have rubber mats protecting your worm. So you guys can still pull out these rubber mats. If you wanna just take them out and use the mats in your stalls at home, or you wanna take them out at a rodeo or a show and use them outside your trailer, you can definitely do that. You wanna run just on top of your worm, that's an option, but now you've got rubber mats on top of your worm as just an additional protectant for your floor. And then staying on the track with our axles, we'll speak about the inside and what that triple does for you guys in here. You guys can see how long this wheelbase is right here. When you go to a triple and you're staying with these 8Ks, it saves you your width inside of this area right here. So when you do go to 9s, you're gonna shorten the length right here, but you're gonna stick out an additional 4 inches. So for those of you with, I know my barrel horses are pretty long backed, but also our warm blood customers that have the bigger horses, width makes a big difference in here. So an additional 4 inches if you go to the 9s. That's why a lot of our customers are sticking with 888s to just keep that floor length in here for their horses and keep them comfortable and happy. All of our walls in here, we got kick mats down low and then line and insulate up high. This is standard on any Ciamrron Norstar, which is their horse trailer model. So you're gonna get lined and insulated in here. Actually, right now I can tell you guys from standing out there and in here, it's quite a bit cooler in here. Like, it's pretty comfortable. And that's because of your line and insulate, but also because of your roof on these Cimarrons. Every single Cimarron has this roof. It's a honeycomb fiberglass reinforced material, and it's a 1/2 inch thick. It's full one piece, so they're cut to fit these trailers specifically. They're on anything that Ciamrron builds. So stock boxes, cargo trailers, livestock trailers, horse trailers. What it's doing for you guys is it's giving you an R3 thermal value. So you guys are cooler, about 20% cooler in the summer, 20% warmer in the winter. It is so much cooler in here right now. I can tell you guys it feels very comfortable. Like, I would feel good loading my horse in one of these and running down the road. I actually own a Cimarron myself. Mine's black sheeted outside, and the black sheeting is hot to the touch. Like, when I open my tack room, I burn my hands a little bit. That hurts. But in here, it is so much cooler. Even with the black sheeting, you don't know a difference. That roof is a game changer inside. And then up top, you guys can actually walk up and down anywhere on this trailer. It's dent resistant up to a baseball size hail. So it adds a lot of structural integrity to this trailer. If you need to go up there and inspect your roof vents, your AC, that max air fan, you guys need to look at any of those, you don't have to worry about stepping on roof bows. You can walk wherever you want to. You're not gonna cave in on this roof. We've got 4 Optibright LEDs up here. So you've got your visibility in here. Lots of light in this trailer. And then working our way back all the way up front, we'll start here and work our way back. I know I mentioned our bathroom had that pass through. So this is getting you right back into your LQ and right into your bathroom. A lot of people look for this because of the mudroom aspect. I also really love on this trailer where the living quarters door is located. You guys noticed it was more further back in your living quarters, more towards the middle, where you could walk in that door and step left into your bathroom or right into your LQ. That also really helps. But also the fact that you can step in from right here. You guys could strip down all of your muddy clothes, your wet clothes, and get right into your bathroom this way as well. Also, if you're just using it for storage, you guys can jump in right there. We have a full stud wall right here, full to the ground. So if you want to stack stuff in here, you don't have to worry about it sliding under and getting to your horses. I always use mine for Rubbermaid tubs, because mine is kind of my mobile tack room as well. I don't have a barn at home for all my tack, so that was kind of full that way. You could also store bagged shavings, bags of grain, hay. If you just don't have a tractor at home to get up to your pod with those heavier items, you're only hauling 3 horses, this first stall is perfect for that. While I'm right here doing these latches, I like to point out these are very, very heavy duty plastic. You guys can hear that, it's very thick. You guys can see how thick it is. And that's just gonna lock your divider in right there, so there's no metal on metal contact. This holds it in really firm. It doesn't rattle at all. If it did, it's not metal on metal, so it's gonna be a lot quieter. You're not gonna have that loud tinging noise. So whatever we can do to keep your horses more comfortable and happy, Cimarron does a phenomenal job with that. Padded dividers, so you have comfortable padding for those long trips on all of your dividers. And then we did airflow as far as your divider and your head grill go. So speaking of just getting air moving through this trailer, the airflow dividers are great to keep that momentum going with the air. Also, if your horses are just more comfortable traveling with their friends and being able to see them, they can do that through these dividers. It makes it feel a lot bigger, although it is quite large in here, but gives it that visual aspect as well. If you guys are building a trailer, you can always make these solid. Same with your head grills up there in between your mangers. You guys can interchange those as well. If your horses are not good eating next to others, you can keep these airflow and make these solid. Otherwise, right now, these are going to be airflow on this trailer. You've got 18-inch mangers in here on stalls 2, 3, and 4. And then we'll have exterior manger access for all that storage as well. All of your slants still are going to have 2 tie rings, so you guys have versatility that way. And then all stalls are also going to have a 2-way roof vent, additional airflow that way as far as our drops on our head side, drops on our hip side, the insulated roof, and then we are that full 710 in here. So speaking of our warm blood customers and the width across the floor, we are full 710. If you guys build a trailer, go 710 and then do an integrated hay pod, you're only gonna get 7.3 in here. This one gets you the full 710. And then our last divider right here, I wanna demonstrate this one because it's pretty cool. We call this a breakover divider. You guys can see right now it's kind of cut in half, and it really sets well in that space right there and opens up this entire space. So our warm blood customers, you've got bigger, taller, wider, thick boned horses getting in and out. This is really gonna open it up and make it super easy for them to either get in or back off. If you've got smaller horses, horses that do this all the time, they don't need that much space, you can very easily make your divider solid again and not have to worry about it. Still get plenty of space in and out of here, but just being able to, no tools required, just pick up those AR latches and cut that in half really quickly and really easily. Give your horses more confidence. That's a very nice feature right there. Very simple, easy to use as well. And that's called the breakover divider. So instead of doing a telescoping aspect, this is a lot easier to work around. Coming from someone that has used both, that one makes a big difference. And then back here, as far as safety features, we've got our butt strap. So whoever's in our last slant right here, I know I've got one, his name is Willie. He definitely anticipates. So if he were in this stall, I would definitely use this with him, because when you open the door, he's just gonna start coming, help himself off the trailer. This one will just remind him or your horse that they need to stay in until you get in and get them untied, or step around to that drop window and get them untied. Second safety feature as we're stepping out is our head bumper right here. You guys have those taller horses, or horses that just kind of elevate as they leave. They get a little bit nervous, they get a little bit fast, and they pick their head up as they leave. We've got that head bumper right there just to protect them. We do have a second 16-inch awning light over this exit, so you'll be able to light up this ramp really well. And then we have two latches on this one. We've got, typically you don't see this recessed latch right there on these doors. Typically it's just your butterfly paddle latch and then you move on. This one's got both. So if you are inside and you're leaving your ramp down, you're camping in there, you're using this stall area for storage, you can lock that from the inside. You can also lock it from the outside, but you can fully lock up this entire stall area. Now we'll work our way around to the back, because we also have a lot going on back here. This one is very different than what we've seen. Has some of the same features, but also quite a bit new ones as well. So this one gets you a lot of great storage, really opens up. You guys have a ramp in here as well. I know the ramp really makes life easier if you are getting in and out of this space often. You're not stepping up and down. The ramp will just convenience. I've got a couple customers that will only build tack rooms that have a ramp on one side and a door on the other, because they love the convenience of just climbing in and out right there. Starting over here, we did fully carpet this entire rear tack, so you've got carpet on all your doors. We've got a bus window on this door for ventilation. Love having that by my blanket bars. Blanket bars right here. Those will swing out as well, but you don't have to. And then you've got 4 blanket bars right there. I've got at least 2 blankets or pads and then a liner on each of these racks. You guys can see how much space you got. You can easily double, triple stack all of your pads right there. And then a brush tray down below. I have a brush tray in mine. I actually took a video the other day of everything that I have in it. I haven't posted it yet, but I've got a ton of stuff in there. I've got all my brushes. I found some Benefab, like quick wraps, magnet wraps for my horses, hoof picks, conchos, Chicago screws, extra carabiner clips, all kinds of stuff. It's a really great, useful spot for all your smaller items that just want to get lost in your big tack room. And then right here, we've got a swing out saddle rack with 4 saddles on it. These guys are fully adjustable. It's pretty easy. You just need an adjustable crescent wrench, and you're gonna loosen the top and bottom. I was actually working on one for a customer the other day that was adding some more saddle racks to theirs, so I just did it the other day. You're just gonna loosen them just a little bit, and then you guys can slide these up and down wherever you want to, and then just crank those back tight. They're not gonna move on you. I've never had my saddle racks themselves slip after I've adjusted them, and I've never had my saddles slip off of these racks being on there. I know sometimes traffic will make you drive a little bit crazy, either having to make sudden movements, slam on your brakes, that sort of thing. I've seen other items in my tack room get a little bit wonky after travel, but never my saddles. This carpet adds a great grip factor, and this wither block sets up in the gullets of my saddles and they do not come off of there. So I really love those saddle racks. Now we're gonna climb in here and check out two more, or another set of saddle racks right here. So we've got 4 more in here on a recessed post. So recessed meaning it's built into the framework of our trailer, so that post does not come out. But if you guys wanted to remove all these saddle racks, you can take these out and use this as just storage space back here. Also, if you just want to slide them to the top, you guys can slide them up and get some more floor space. You want to space them out and use all 8 of these saddle racks, because I probably would. You've got tons of storage in here. We've got our generator fuel tank back in the back, tucked away. Outlaw does a great job of carpeting it after they install it and finishing it out, making it like you don't even know that it's there. And then our back wall, we've got a whole row of bridle hooks right here. Can never have too many bridle hooks. So I love just having storage for all of my extra halters, tie downs, nose bands, reins, extra head stalls I'm not using. You guys can tuck those back in there, keep your go-tos up here. You also have 2 more rows right here. So if you want to store all of your main rodeo bridles, horse show bridles, your quick grabs right here, that's perfect. And put all your second sets back here. You've got options. And then I love this shelf back here. Just kind of using, this would otherwise be dead space up here, and now we've added this shelf to get you some overhead storage. Perfect for like hat cans up there. I've got extra cinches that lay down in there. Got corner feeders that I never installed in my trailer up there. Whatever it may be, it's nice to have up off the floor storage. Now, speaking of storage, we've got something a little bit different on this one. We've got this door back here. It's hiding behind my shore power cord, but this is gonna be access behind your fridge that would otherwise just kind of be dead blank space. We've went ahead and added this door for the side access. You guys can store all kinds of other stuff in there. Get that up off the floor, keep it contained from moving around, and then just close your door. This is gonna be your shore power cord. I'll show you guys later where that plugs in, but you've got 30 amp service with your 1 AC unit on this guy. Now over here, typically what we've been doing in the past on a lot of ours is more of just like your medicine cabinet and just all shelves over here, and then a separate door at the bottom, kind of similar to that guy back there for just extra storage. We've done some with that small fridge up top that face inwards. Now we've got one right here. It's a little bit bigger, and it's access from the exterior. So right here at your door, you guys can get to that pretty easily. Perfect spot to have your horse medicine back here. I know if you're traveling, you're always gonna need some Banamine and some Butte. You guys can just store that in there. Extra waters, especially for today, that's what I'm thinking about, is water. Great to have just coolant fridge back here. And I love that now it's faced this way versus inwards. You guys can get to it so much faster. And just to remind us that these are full custom builds. You guys can design these whatever works best for your needs, whatever you dream up. As long as the engineers at Ciamrron approve it, it's good to go. So keep in mind, you guys got a lot of versatility with these. Got another storage right here up above that fridge. Kind of a cool cubby hole there. And then I want to point out, in this shelf right here, you've got an outlet back in there too. So you've got power source back here in your rear tacks. If you've got some horse items, I know people have got like the MagnaWaves and stuff that need to charge. You guys could throw this. This is a huge shelf. It goes way back in there. It's really tall. This is a great size. You guys got stuff that need to charge. You've got it back here in your rear tack now. And then we've got an extra shelf up here. We do have lights back in here. It looks like I've failed to hit those light switches, but we've got 2 Optibrights inside, as well as 2 8-inch awning LEDs outside. So you guys, this is gonna light up like a city back here, nice and bright for those early mornings or late nights. This guy swings back in. It's on a gas shock. Give it a good shove. It's gonna go back in there and tuck away. You guys don't even have to swing it out. There's plenty of space to get in here and access any of those saddles and just grab them and go. Don't worry about having to swing it out if you don't have the space, you don't want to. It looks like you have tons of room, and if it doesn't show it on camera, it does in person. Now, I mentioned gas shocks, so I'll close this one over here. All of our rear tack doors and our manger doors are on these gas shocks up here. So right now they're held out on their own. I do not have them on holdbacks. They're just pushed out and held open by those gas shocks, which is nice because when you want to go shut it, you open it, it's going to throw itself open and stay open. And when you want to shut it, going to close itself too. And then to open it, you're just going to grab that bar, push it open, opens itself. And then it's got this latching mechanism. So when you do shut it, typically if you didn't have the shock, you'd have to give it a little bit of a shove there. But all you got to do now is just let go. So those are pretty cool. Same with this guy, just on a gas shock. So it opens itself and then closes itself. We've got a combination lock back here on our rear tack. So this butterfly latch will also lock, but you guys have a combo lock as well if you really wanted to lock up and secure that tack space. And then over here, easy angle ladder. Now you guys can see I've got a lot of customers that ask, can you install a rear ramp over my easy angle ladder? Now you guys see it's definitely possible. So if you're looking at a trailer here with the ladder back here and it's a step up and you want to make it a ramp up, you can do that. Our shop does it here. There's your easy angle, sets right there on your ramp, gives you access up into your hay pod now. And I love the easy angle because it makes life a lot easier when you are crawling up in there. This is an 8-foot roof pod. And then we have the deck extension as well. So you guys will see that little gate right there will swing open if you do have your tractor bucket up there and you're trying to pull out all those hay bales. Swing that gate open before you put your bucket flush up there. We've got an Optibrite up there, and then that deck extension is kind of a nice space for extra storage. A lot of our horse show customers take wheelbarrows with them. Could easily strap your wheelbarrows down right there. Our shop can install airliner track or D-rings. And then next to it, you've got your generator. We've got an Onan gas generator on this one. And then all of our tail lights back here, as I'm closing this, you guys can see we've got 4 tail lights with a white X in the middle. Those are now built-in reverse lights. So I do have them turned on, it looks like. So tail lights with built-in reverse lights on all 4. You guys are building a trailer and you wanted 2 of your tail lights on each post and the 2 at the top, you can always do that, but you get 4 standard. And then over here are those light switches that I had failed to switch on earlier. So your switches on your left post right here are going to be your left-hand tie ring lights, your load lights back here, and then your lights inside your tack room that I pointed out that were turned off. And then you've got switches on your rear post right here that are going to be doing your right-hand tie ring lights and then your stall lights inside. So that's kind of where all those light switches are. Working our way around back to our head side, back in our shady side over here. We've got our fill for our gas generator right here. Our build sheets should tell us how much fuel that holds. I just don't have it pulled up, but if you guys have any questions, just reach out. I can tell you guys how many gallons this holds right there. And then I mentioned our manger doors being on gas shocks as well. So here's your gas shock. It's gonna be on all your manger doors. And then these mangers do have full carpet behind. You guys can also, if you're building a trailer, make that gray rubber tread flooring. This one's got the carpet. Great aspect for preventing those black streaks when you do hang stuff in there. Pretty much if anything, you're gonna be hanging an extra halter and a lead rope in here because you just never know when you're gonna find a loose horse or need a halter and a lead rope. So if they get to swaying back and forth, they're not gonna be leaving those black streaks. Helps maintain your resale value and protects your equipment. But we've got some hooks right there. Also perfect spot if you wanna store that shore power cord in here, get it out of your rear tack, fits perfectly in there. But when you do shut these, they're gonna help themselves shut. So watch your fingers. Pulls out on its own. I love that it stays out too, because especially if you're on a slope, it's kind of a breezy day, you're trying to get in here, get to your grain bags, your supplements, whatever you have stored in here. Mine was always my mobile feed room. Those doors would either be trying to slam shut on you, close you in the manger, whatever it may be. I love that it's gonna hold itself open, especially when you have your drop down window open right here, because typically you'd have to flip this door all the way around to get it to stay open, right? That means you'd have to put that drop window up to get this to fold all the way over. Now it's gonna stay open with just that gas shock. And you've got your drop down windows on your head side. Your head side is gonna have the jail bars though. Don't get that on hip side unless you upgrade to drops with jail bars. That's always an option if you guys are building a trailer. But on our head side, you get those on your drops. And they're super easy to drop those jail bars as well. So if you needed to get up in there I always recommend when you have mangers like this, store a step stool in there, because when you're carrying buckets of water, it's going to get real hard to lift up over your head. Your horses get thirsty, they're going to end up spilling it on you. Speaking from personal experience, so having a step stool makes it so much easier, especially when we're on air ride, which we are right now. We gain about 4 inches, so it really lifts this trailer up. But if you want to throw more feed, unhook them to back them out of the trailer, you guys have access by dropping those jail bars. We also have stopped getting fuel and you just want to let them stretch their legs. You can drop those open or stretch their necks out. They can get their heads out right there. And then I know our manger doors slam themselves, but I always like to point out on these windows, you do need to give them a good shove. These black seals are extremely airtight. So when you shut it, just slam it, make sure you slam it right there at that latch. Now on our front manger door, we have a brush tray. So we only have a brush tray on this one. You guys can always add them to the other ones, but I think that's really smart. I've got a customer who's built one, he's building a second one right now, and I think he's got a brush tray on all of his manger doors. Just a good spot for extra smaller items, and what comes to mind is probably the smaller tools. So if you had maybe grease guns for your grease zerks on your hinges, you had those adjustable crescent wrenches for your saddle racks, a tire pressure gauge in here, tools to change your tire, spare tire, perfect spot to just store all of those, and then you're not digging around in those mangers trying to find them. Our other amber turn signal on this side, and then our escape door, which I mentioned does not have the manger on it. So it does have D-rings for a corner feeder though. You're also still gonna have your 2 tie rings inside if you wanna hang a hay net or a hay bag. But this also gives you the ability to lock it from the inside. Same as our door on our side ramp, looks the same. You guys can lock it from the inside and use that as your mudroom entrance, close it behind you, lock it, and be done for the night. If you did have a horse in there and they're messing with that latch on the inside, you do have your secondary latch right here. Working your way back forward, I mentioned our shore power cord. I was going to show you where it plugs in. This is your 30 amp service. So if you have full hookups, this is where that goes. Full hookups also means on-demand city water right there. So you're going to plug in city water and turn that on. It's going to go right into your water pump there and pump right into your trailer. So you do still have to have your water pump turned on, but you're not draining from your 60-gallon fresh water. So it's kind of endless water supply. So full hookups are right here. This is going to be sewer and gray water dump valves right there. I've not had a Ciamrron living quarters. I've had other living quarters, and they have been a real pain to use. What I see here and what I've heard from my customers that use these is that those are much easier to use, especially just the way that they're angled and how they function. These work a lot better than others. The backside of your furnace right here just vents out right there. And then we're going to work our way around our hydraulic slide out. I mentioned our 60-gallon fresh water is under that countertop behind your sofa. This is going to be fill. So this is direct fill into your 60-gallon fresh water tank right here. So when you don't have that on-demand city water connection, you're just going to fill up your tank right there. Stepping forward, we have an exterior water spigot. So that's going to drain from your house water. That will drain from your 60-gallon fresh water tank. So always maybe good idea to keep an extra water tank for your horses, either up in your hay pod or on your deck extension or something, to water them, because this will take from your house water. Now up under our nose here, I said it was a 9-foot nose because of our front end enclosure. That's going to be this roll-up door right here. Looks like a garage door. That's going to close down and protect all the elements right here. Rolls up when you need to get in here. So we've got our propane behind this door. They have their own compartment, 30 pounds right here, both of them. Up above, we have our batteries in a also aluminum battery box. And remember, our battery disconnect is now on the inside of the trailer. It's not going to be in this space, so this is where it used to be. And now over to our right, we've got our air ride controls. They're very easy to use. All you're going to have is an on and an off, a raise and a lower, and then a drain valve right there. So what you can do when you're hooking up your trailer or getting ready to load your horses, you can turn it on and let the compressor start to build air, but keep it on lower. So that way it's just building air and it hasn't actually raised your trailer up. Wait until you load your horses, because that side ramp can get pretty steep. Once you're loaded and getting on the road, turn that to raise before you go, and it will push air to the bags now that the compression has built. When you're done with it, you're just gonna turn it to off, turn it to lower. It will, for the most part, drain itself. It's not gonna fully drain though. So if you're at an event for the day, off and lower is just fine. If you're gonna park overnight for long periods of time, we do encourage you to pull this and drain all the way to 0, because if you leave air in the lines and it does get cold, it will cause condensation and then you'll get water in your lines. So if you do forget for a little bit and then you go pull that and some water spews out, that's okay. It's just purging the system. But note, you always want to kind of keep good maintenance on that by doing that aspect right there. Other than that, it's auto leveling, has its own onboard compressor. Like you guys see, it's on right now and I'm not hooked up to my truck. It just runs off of battery power. Full size matching spare tire. Got our pump for our hydraulic slide out right there. Electric over hydraulic jacks, dual jacks that you guys can work independently to level your trailer how you need to. And then the hydraulic fluid for our electric over hydraulic brakes. We do have another 16-inch awning light right here that will light up this space right here. It works really well if you are hooking up or unhooking in the dark. And then up here is going to be storage for your black and gray hoses. So when you go to dump those, that's right there. So what you guys just looked at was a brand new 2025 Ciamrron Norstar. Comes with full warranties being brand new. So on your Ciamrron trailer, you're getting an 8-year structure warranty, 3-year H to bumper. Your Outlaw conversion is a full Outlaw conversion, so you're getting 3-year warranties on that as well. Again, anything that they install, and of course that 24/7 customer tech support. If you guys have questions, I can share these build sheets. There's a lot. We went over a lot. Just reference this stock number. It's 5N241102. I would be glad to help you guys out, show you this trailer here in person, send you guys anything you need to buy sight unseen as well. It is still available and it's a pretty cool one. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and if you have questions, I'd love to help you. My name is Michaela Hall. You guys can email if you prefer. It's Michaela.Hall@transwest.com. I'm also a texter. This is an iPhone. You guys can call or text me. It's 303-918-6367. Thank you guys so much for staying with us this morning. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week.